know you heard me on the radio, flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio, flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Miami Dolphins fans, welcome to another episode of Larry, Lucci, G, and Shake. Welcome to the Phin-Addict Fury channel. I'm your host, Larry K. Most of you and many of you watched the debacle up here in Jersey on Sunday. The Miami Dolphins going down to division rival New York Jets, a team that most of us thought at least, and I know I thought so, I thought we'd at least beat the New York Jets. And I still thought, it was going to be tough to get into the playoffs because I thought Denver was not going to lose to KC. KC just resting too many starters, too much going on there, and it just wasn't going to happen. And G is clamoring to get in this show right now after his rant. I mean, we're going to get him in here. But we got Lucci in the back. We got Shake in the back. We're going to talk to you. We're going to do memes. We're going to do good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to have Greg and Lucci talk about what they thought about the season and the game. But here's what I think. Look, I told you my main concern was not to scapegoat just one of these guys. You got Chris Grier, you got Mike McDaniel, and you got Tua Tagovailoa. Quite frankly, I don't think any of these dudes really deserve another go-around with this team. I just think this iteration of the team, they all did something good. They all did something bad. But the iteration of this team overall, if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, you cannot be happy with the results over the last several years of this rebuild. We have not won a playoff game throughout the duration of this thing. The team has regressed, and I understand there's all this stuff in the media about, the Dolphins organization, they set you up to accept, mediocrity this year because it was a reset year. It didn't have to be a reset year, okay? They made it a reset year because they paid a couple guys a ton of money, and they didn't have enough money to go around. They didn't re-sign integral pieces. They still had draft picks, so I don't know why they're acting like they couldn't have reloaded at all. And don't get it twisted. They tried to reload with these draft picks. Some of them, they hit on. Some of them they didn't. Long story short, I'm not buying any of this nonsense that they knew all along this was going to happen, because that doesn't make any sense anyway. At the end of the day, are they really saying that they expected Tua Tagovailoa to sit out the last two games of the season? Are they saying that they expected Tua Tagovailoa to be out with a concussion for a vast stretch, in the beginning of the season? Are they really saying that? Because it doesn't make a lot of sense when they cut Huntley early in the preseason and went into the season with Skylar Thompson as the backup. And then all of a sudden, when he went in, they realized he couldn't cut it, and they had to get rid of him and bring in another backup, another couple backups to try out. So I don't buy that they knew what they were doing and that this was always going to be a reset year, and they're supremely confident in the direction of the team and supremely confident in the direction of the franchise, and we all need to sit back and watch the plan in motion. I don't buy any of that, and I don't buy the narrative. Now, I am glad that they didn't get rid of just GM Chris Grier. There was a lot of speculation, a lot of media hype, a lot of spinning out there that they were going to get rid of Chris Grier. And I already warned you that if they got rid of him, then they're limiting their their GM search, because they're saddling the GM with head coach Mike McDaniel. And then in a couple years, when they fire Mike McDaniel, they're going to saddle the new head coach with the GM. And I'm glad at least they're all in this together. And one thing I will tell you, and this is for people who want to join, become a Fury fan member. One thing I will tell you is Shake and I are going to get into this, because some of the things they say, including things they say in Stephen Ross's statement, you can read into, and you can see the tactics, and you can see the thought and the long-term chess game behind it. Now, I'm not somebody who thinks Stephen Ross is going to be a great chess player when it comes to managing a football franchise, but I do think there was some chess in that statement. And what that chess was to me was that he said these guys have a really good working relationship. He said these guys work well together, and that's what I'm looking for. What you can read that into that a little bit. And if you just tuned in, we're talking about this guy right here. This cat. This is the guy who celebrates after a win against San Fran, thinks it's the best thing ever, gives Mike McDaniel a game ball. This guy right here wears a pink tie with some odd tones with a striped shirt and striped tie. That's a fashion faux pas. Anyway, this guy, he says they work together as a team. Well, I think that's the one good thing I can take from this offseason so far is that Ross said they work together as a team. Why do I like that? Why does Larry K, the guy who can't stand McDaniel, can't stand Greer at this point? I used to like Greer. Can't stand Tua. Why am I happy about that? Well, here's why. Because when you're saying that their greatest strength is that they work together, then what you're saying is that they're a package deal. You're saying that those guys have basically come to your office and with a united front, unlike the last regime, Flores and all this, where they're, getting ready to posture against each other. Adam Gase, the war between Tannenbaum and Gase and Greer, and they're all trying to survive and kick the other one under the mat. No, they must have come to him with a united front and said, this is our plan. Now, I don't trust them to have a good plan. I don't trust them to do anything that we want with this team. But here's why it's good. They are now joined at the hip. They are joined together. And so when they succeed together. But I'm not expecting much success. I got to be honest with you. And by the way, shouts to everybody out here in the chat. Shouts to the members, the official Fury Fan members. Carrie D's in the building. Chef Jew's in the building. Shake's in here talking. Lucci, Cosa Nostra. We're all in here. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get the algorithm up. Let's get more people watching the show today. Let's go. You see I'm donning this new Phin-Addict Fury hat. We're going to get some merch out to members very soon. We're going to throw some perks in there. We're going to have merch up for sale. We're going to do a new intro. We're going to get some stuff going on this channel in the offseason because if the football isn't so great, at least Fury Fam can have some fun. That's what we're going to do. So welcome everybody to the show. Good to see everybody in here. And welcome to all the new subscribers. The channel's been growing. Welcome to everybody. And let's get it running here. But I think it's a good thing that they're joined at the hip because when one of them goes, they're both going to go. And that's the best outcome you can hope for at this juncture. It might be next year, might be midway through next year, might be a year from now, might be 2 years from now, but they are joined at the hip unless some other ridiculous narrative comes to fruition, which it could. But I think the good thing out of Stephen Ross's statement is that they're joined at the hip. But here's what I want to talk about. You had Tyreek Hill after the game said, I'm out, man. I'm going to open the door, because I'm a competitor. Look, I understand he's a competitor. And then Jalen Ramsey posting some cryptic thing. I understand he's mad. But he removed himself from the game, according to Mike McDaniel. He's had his share of coming up small in big games. I'm not just putting it on him, bro. I'm not one of these people. These Tuaneers that want to put it all on Tyreek Hill, want to put it all on Tua being injured. We'll get to that in a second. But he came out and he said, yo, I'm out. And whether he's out or he's not out, here's what really bothered me today in all the media reports that I saw, specifically in the Facebook groups and the Twitter spaces and everywhere that the Miami, South Florida media was talking. I saw, we say that the team is soft, bro. And there's fans of this team that are hard body as hell because I know a lot of them and we've been through the trenches with this team for years. But, there's a lot of soft-ass people in this fan base too, bro. It's not just the team. It's not just Ross. It's this whole culture right now that's corrupted, man. There are a lot of soft people in this fan base. I'm sorry, too many of these dudes. There's so many of these dudes. And why do I say that? Because when I'm looking at Barry Jackson tweet things out and I'm looking at these guys, well, Chris Greer said that he talked to Tyreek Hill and he's staying. And all these fans are like, the cheetah's staying. The cheetah's here, man. We got the cheetah. Bro, he just dished you on live TV and your team did not make the playoffs and you lost to the New York rival Jets. Aaron Rodgers is out here grinning all smiles. They're chanting Jets in a stadium that probably had more Dolphins fans than Jet fans. And you're like, well, Cheetah's coming back. Great. Then they're tweeting out, well, you don't know Calais Campbell. Now, I love Calais Campbell. I'm not going to hate on him at all. But I'm rooting for Calais Campbell to go somewhere where he could be successful. He's only got a couple years left. Dudes are like, well, he might stay with us. He might stay. Why are you hyped for all these dudes staying on a team that lost to the New York Jets and didn't make the playoffs and didn't even sniff the playoffs? If we're being honest, that was a fluke that it came down to that last week. Why are you celebrating like some cheerleaders that were keeping guys on a team that underperformed again for the 24th consecutive season? And you're out here, they're throwing you scraps of nothing the day after this guy came out and said, we're maintaining the status quo. You got fans out here clapping and clamoring like they got thrown scraps, and they're begging that the dude who just dissed you on TV and trolled you with a picture is all of a sudden, nah, he's coming back. Well, whoop-dee-doo. They're all coming back. Whoop-dee-doo. I want changes. I don't care who's coming back. Tell me who's leaving. Tell me who you're bringing in. Tell me what you're going to change. It just, to me, seeing all that today, this ring around the rosy patty cake nonsense in the press conferences, and then all the reporters, none of the reporters were coming out saying, I asked him this question and he was evasive. I asked him that question, he had no excuse. He just said he's coming back. I asked him the plan, he didn't have one. None of them are saying that. They're saying, they're co-signing the nonsensical hype. Now, Chris Greer, all of a sudden, we're going to have to invest in the offensive line. You joker, Chris. I told you about the offensive line. Yeah, don't even worry, bro. Don't even worry, because that's the truth. Put that back up. Put that back up right now. That's all I got to say. Bro, that's, and you guys cheer for that. Capri Pants Mike. Capri Pants Mike up here with no accountability. No accountability. That's the dude that you guys are cheering for so much, and we could take it. But that's what you guys are clapping for, and they're over there like chummy, like, well, I guess we got to check that O-line. You're darn right, Chris. And Mike's going to be back. Mike, you happy? Well, I did check with Tyreek. He won't be saying that again. We all had a great time, and, he had a couple dates later that night. He's got to keep the population going. What the hell are you talking about, man? This was a joke of a season, and now we move on to our golden boy, Tua Tagovailoa, which, bro, I don't care anymore. You got the brigade is out here saying, well, the only reason he's not good enough for us is because he can't stay healthy. The only reason he's not good enough is because he can't stay healthy. Bro, I know it's a lie. We all know it's BS. It's not just that he can't stay healthy. It's that he also can't play well against good teams. We all know that, and that's fine. But I'm willing to let you have your little excuse and your little narrative. You could continue that for the rest of our lives. You could say from now until the day you're gone that Tua would have been the best quarterback ever if he just could have stayed healthy, if he was just smart enough to not get hurt. If it makes you feel better to believe your own nonsense and think that, I will let you have it. I will let you have it. As long as we both agree that whether his injuries were the problem or whether his play or some combination of both was the problem, that at the end of the day, he ain't it, man. He ain't it. He isn't the guy, my bro. He isn't the guy for this team to lead this franchise and be a viable franchise quarterback to take us to the next level. Whether you want to say it's the injuries or you want to say it's the play on the field, either way, he's not that dude, bro. I don't know what else to tell you at this point. Now, more fundamental problems. I'm going to bring the guys on in a minute, but I want to get this out because I've been sitting on this now. You have a head coach who had players basically openly quit on him, disrespecting him in the media to the point that it's nothing. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to clown you on Twitter. Other dudes are going to kick rocks when people leave. And how's Vic Fangio's defense doing? How's Brian Flores' defense doing? Pretty good, right? I'm going to kick rocks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then, you know what? my coach is going to come out with the capris and whatnot and say, well, I talked to him and that's unacceptable. Bro, did you though? Did you? Because I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, bro. I don't know if there's any accountability really in that locker room. But you have a head coach who failed this year to put Tyreek in better positions, who failed to stretch the field, who failed to counterpunch teams who had figured his offense out, to counterpunch the rule changes that wouldn't allow the motions the way he wanted it. You have a GM who failed to assemble an adequate offensive line, who allowed Andrew Van Ginkel to walk, who allowed all these other guys to walk, one of our best guards to walk, and it didn't play out well. You have a GM and an entire organization and a franchise and a fan base who was cheering for it in many ways. Sign a guy to a long-term deal when he had a fifth-year option on the table. And if Tua had played on his fifth-year option like I had said he should, there was nothing that Tua had done prior to this year that should have warranted a huge contract in the $50 million range. There was nothing he did. Everything said that you had to play out one more year because he never quite got to show us who he's going to be consistently. Well, look, there's a body of work now, right? There was last year, which everybody wants to hang their hat on, who's a two-and-ear. There was a body of work that he played all 16 games, and the stats looked good, but he didn't win in the cold weather. He didn't win in critical situations. The stats looked good. He played a full season, but it was one season. Out of the 5 years he's been here, what happened the other 5 years? Several injuries, every year missing games. Never showing up in the critical big moments, whether that's due to injury or due to the cold or due to being late in the season or whatever the reason is. If you take the 5 years as an aggregate and you assess Tua's performance and you assess what you want to do long term and if he's the guy to do it for you long term, there's no way you should be paying him $55 million or whatever it is. And if you had just had him play on his fifth-year option, you would have been able to look at that entire thing and made a determination. But instead, you wanted to jump the gun, and now this team is hamstrung with this regime, this offense, this philosophy for this foreseeable future. And I'm not going to sit here and clap and act like a fan of some reality show or some fake nonsense because my favorite character is coming back next year. Because I'm a football fan and I want to win games. And this team has failed to do that. And I'm tired of it, but I'm telling you, this extends to more than just the organization. This extends to the fan base, man. If we're going to allow this and we're going to cheer like little cheerleaders on the sideline for every little tidbit of news they throw out, and our media is going to sit there and give them a pat on the back and retweet and share their nonsense to try to get us excited, and we're all going to go along with it, then this team has no hope of turning it around anytime soon. There are other medias and other fan bases that would not let them get away with the nonsense they're pulling and the happy-go-lucky crap. And I'm not going to do it, man. But I am glad Ross did not fire just one of them because that would have just prolonged this nonsense even longer. They're going to live together. They're going to die together. Figuratively speaking, that's that. And let's see what happens. Go ahead, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the super chats. Join. Become a Fury fan member. We're in it for tonight. We're going to bring the guys up. We're going to talk. We're going to bring some memes. We're going to talk some good, bad, the ugly. We're going to do all those things. So make sure you hit that like button on your way in, on your way out. Let's get more people in here. Let's talk Fins tonight. Everybody, if you dig the show, give the link a share. Let people know we're in here talking. We're cooking. We're chilling. Carrie D. Stephen Ross loves the drama. It pays big money. He and Jerry Jones love this stuff. Bait everyone while they make more and more money. I agree with you, except Jerry ain't done it lately, but Jerry's done it at some point. This dude has never done it. I don't believe he will ever do it. Sad to say. Shake's got the glasses on. Greg's got the bag over his head. Lucci's kicking it with the banner, and we're all kind of looking fly in the hat. I don't know what Greg just didn't want to have. He wanted to put the bag over his head instead.
Guy's got the shades.
Oh yeah, if Tua could do it at night, why can't I?
Bro, that's true. What was that about, bro? Somebody
Guy's
said
a
to me
clown.
that the reason Tua had the Fendies was because the concussion, when he sees lights, the concussion bothers him. I'm not trying to knock it, but if you can't see at night in bright stadiums, how are you going to play ball if you can't even sit on the sideline, bro. That's what I want.
Unless you got the Ricky Williams shaded shield.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe he's got to rock that. Maybe
the quarterback wear that though.
Maybe I don't know. I guess you technically could. I don't know if it'll mess up his vision. But let's proceed on with the show like we usually do. Greg had his rant the other day. It did pretty good, and people were loving it, hating it, everything else. Greg, let's hear your rant before we bring Shake on to his thing, and then I'm going to give the floor to Lucci. You know how we do on the show. G, what are you feeling? What's your emotions like? And by the way, did you have class today, or it's a new semester?
Oh, I don't start until the 21st, so I got this week and then next week off. But yeah, the pain and misery never ends with this team, with this fan base. Let's start with the fan base. You guys are a bunch of fickle. If you had any thoughts of the Chiefs B squad and Carson Wentz showing up, and quite frankly, I'm pissed off that we had to hope and pray for that, because is that what our team is talented, right? That's what everyone's saying. If we're just hoping and praying that teams beat other teams, make a playoffs, what are we doing here? I'm sick and tired of hoping teams have beat. If this team beats this team and if that team beats that team, is that good enough for us? Is the goal for us to win a Super Bowl, or are we just happy backing in the playoffs? Are we happy with beating the trash Patriots and Jets? You know, the funny thing is, people on Twitter want to argue with me. Every time I bring up points, you know, they want to bring, well, Tua's never lost to the Patriots and Jets. Is that what we're celebrating? That's
what they're celebrating, bro.
If we're fine with beating the trash Patriots and Jets, I'll shut my mouth. I'll fall in line. I'll get on board. I'll stop talking Super Bowl, because that's my goal. I want to see this team win a Super Bowl. And it's a flat-out joke that we're keeping these three clowns in. Now, I will say, Larry, you bring up a great point. At least he didn't fire one and kept the other. I'm happy with that. That was my worst nightmare, firing Chris Greer, keeping McGeek. But hey, we kept both, and I'm honestly looking forward to this year. It's hopefully it's the end of these clowns. Get them out. I'm hoping this is the end. I know what's going to happen, Larry. I can't be positive. I can't be optimistic with this team anymore, because I know what's going to happen. Chris Greer came out and said he's going to build the O-line. Guess what? We had an O-line that year. We went to the Bill. We lost the Bills in the division, the Hard Rock. We had an O-line. It was, quite frankly, it was injury-prone line. Teron Armstead, he only gives you 5 games a year. Isaiah Wynn got banged up. Connor Williams was getting banged up. Hunt was the only healthy one. Austin Jackson, he gets banged up. We had an offensive line that year. It's not. You know, they just get hurt. Now we're gonna build an O-line. I'm very excited to see the 2-years excuse hopefully go out the window. We build the O-line, and
they're always gonna have an excuse.
Yeah, they're always gonna have an excuse. I'm done with your excuses. You keep pushing your narratives. I'm not buying them no more. You know, 2025. Hopefully, it's the end of an era. We can get off some contracts. I don't believe in Tua. Never have, never will. There's always an excuse. There will be people will probably start pushing. He needs to put weight back on. They were saying lose the weight. I mean, it's a complete clown show. But at least Ross did the right thing, kept them both. They live and die together. And, you know, the pain and misery never ends. I'm boycotting. I'm not buying merch. I'll watch I have to watch the games. I'm not boycotting the show. People love the video. I can't leave this show. You know, I can't boycott.
Yeah, just buy Phin-Addict Fury merch and not Dolphins.
Buy Phin-Addict
That's right. See, there you go.
Buy the Fins tailgate merch.
Got coffee mugs coming up soon. You gotta start drinking
bro, we
coffee,
do.
Exactly.
We do.
But stop buying the jerseys and stop buying the merch. Cancel your season tickets if you want to boycott. I was looking to go down. I'm not looking to go down until change happens. And you know, it's back to Tyreek Hill. He comes out with comments. Everyone in this fan base trashing on Tyreek. All of a sudden, it's announced that he's coming back, that they smooth things over, and now everyone's back on board. It's ridiculous. It's a clown show. The circus that continues, the circus that never ends. The pain and misery will continue. Put the bags on your head.
I love it. Shake.
Morning, Your Majesty. It is another beautiful day in Zamunda.
It is, and with being that it is a nice, cool day in sunny Florida, I thought I would relax with a nice glass of coquito.
Ooh, I like that. Even post holidays.
Yeah. It's good for any time.
Dig it. I mean, it's cool in Florida. It's cold in Jersey, man.
Of course.
So
okay.
I mean, Shake. Oh yeah, who's that? We got the cat kicking it.
Oh yeah.
So Shake, let's just get down to business about this game, man.
The good. The bad. The ugly.
The good. Let's see. This glass of coquito is good. Let's see. I have my weekends free now.
Well, that is always good.
It's beautiful weather, and that's pretty much it.
Now on to football, I guess.
Well, the good.
How about beautiful? It's cold. For us down here, it's cold.
What's the temperature down there?
It's in the 30s.
That's cold. That's cold even here, bro.
Listen, it's a Florida cold. I try to tell everybody, man, this is a wet cold. Go ahead, Shake. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get it.
It's thicker. It's thicker.
I was gonna say
It is, Shake.
I
It's
get it.
different, bro.
for two goods, I guess our draft picks higher. If we would have won, we would have been picking in the late teens. Hey,
that is true, bro.
And another good, the game was over by halftime, so we could have just. I didn't watch the second half. I didn't have to watch it.
That's true. I read a magazine a little bit during the second half, but I did watch it. But once Denver ran away with it, and then I saw how bad we were playing, and then Rodgers was walking around grinning, having a coronation, I was like, oh man, I can't do this anymore. Anyway, Shake bad. By
the way, thank God for the Finns tailgate because I was listening to them call the game. I didn't even watch the game at the
I like that too. Yeah.
The bad. We lost to the Jets. That's always bad. I don't care.
That's bad.
All those people that went to the MetLife takeover bought their $20 tickets because nobody wanted to go to that game.
Nobody wanted to go, bro. So many people.
Tickets were like $5, man.
$20. Like, bro, I don't know if you should, man.
$20, and man, and the fact that the genius can't get a offense running without the starting quarterback is criminal.
I'm sick of it, man.
Apparently, Larry, they were going after backup quarterbacks, but they lost it. I don't know if you saw that in the presser.
No.
Yeah. We'll get into it, but
we'll get into that
in other words, they put more stock. They put more stock into getting a third round compensatory pick than to getting a valuable backup.
Just ridiculous, bro.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what they said. And of course, the ugly Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel are back, which me and you said it as much that all three are coming back next year to embrace for impact. And sure enough, I was hoping that I was wrong, but
yeah,
we caught it. We've been saying
bro.
it.
You know that's what's going to happen with this team.
I believe it when I see it.
Exactly.
And of course, let me throw some memes in.
Bobby Digital over here. I like his idea.
My guy.
So being that election season passed, whatever, this next meme kind of remind me of election season.
Yeah, that's true with them, bro. They're having a blast. I like that.
Of course, we've been officially eliminated.
We already know.
I got footage of what Tua is going to do for the playoffs.
Yep.
Bro, that's what he does. He's going to eat that bag of chips. Remember that? You're probably eating chips watching me. Bro, you're wearing sunglasses eating chips, watching Mahomes and Herbert and all those other dudes play ball, man.
Yeah, Herbert could do something Tua can't and win a playoff game.
Yeah. And by the way, Lucci has been saying, bro, Tua's not humble. He's not. That chip comment, I keep receipts too. Tua said he's keeping receipts. We keep receipts. This dude said a lot of stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, man. So
that's great. That is great.
Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a McDonald's close to the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And that being McDaniel is coming back. Ross is committed. So, and McDaniel's a hard worker. So, being that there's a McDaniel's by that stadium, so this Sunday McDaniel's still gonna be hard at work. So, go see him And tell him you want fries.
Greetings,
Super size.
fellow Dolphins fans. Can I interest you in a Slappy Patty? Look at him, bro. What that's going to be the new. He's got the Nike gear too, because it's got to be sanctioned. You can never wear a suit. It's got to be athletically sanctioned gear, even at the McDonald's locally. Bro, that looks crazy. He looks like the manager, like at that McDonald's. Like, he looks like the dude that would manage that.
The head coach.
He really does, bro. Bro, but you know what's crazy is he didn't even cry about no playoffs. I feel like he just cried because he didn't get the ball.
No playoffs, man. By the way, I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Yes.
Yeah, he already changed his profile picture back.
Remember that, bro? These wideouts get crazy sometimes.
Yeah. And by the way, here's the one thing I want people to realize. If he was with any other team, if he was with Cincinnati, if he was with this team, he'll be doing the same stunts. It's nothing personal. That's just who he is.
No, true story. Yeah. It's not.
He didn't do it at Kansas City.
Well, yeah, because they
would have kicked his ass out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree.
And think about this: Kansas City never won. As a matter of fact, he got in trouble because his kid's arm broke or something like that. Remember?
Yes.
Was that him? I thought that was Kareem Hunt.
No, that was it was Tyreek
Hill. Have a situation like that too, though. Well, not Kareem Hunt. Adrian Peterson had a situation where he
whipped his kid with lashes. He with a stick, whatever. And by the way, here after what he said, this was Miami Dolphin fans.
True story. Yeah. That's what they wanted to say. All of a sudden, they changed their tune, bro. That's what I'm saying. I don't care if you have an opinion one way or the other, but people were acting like they would go to war for him. Now, all of a sudden, they're like, well, he does this anyway. He act like that anyway. I'm like, oh, yeah, bro. You weren't saying that when he loved the Finns. That's why you guys act corny sometimes, man.
Oh,
man. This reminds me.
True. I wasn't even here, bro. I wasn't even alive. Actually, I don't think any of us were. Quite frankly.
By the way, this summer there's a summer movie coming out starring Chris Greer and Stephen Ross.
Yeah. Mm.
If you know, you know.
Bro, the hair is the best.
Oh man, look at fans now. Look at this.
Haircuts. What is? Oh yeah, bro. I saw this. The Tua jersey's getting burnt. I kind of like that because it shows that some of the dudes who actually were rocking Tua jerseys heavy actually burned them. So this wasn't like people that were non-Tuaneers. Like these people at least kind of rock with them enough that they had the authentic Tua jersey.
I was close to burning mine. I was close to burning mine.
You didn't burn it yet, G? You got a closet full of them. You might as well burn one. I mean,
I know.
Make sure you do it outside your house.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, don't do it anywhere where you're gonna cause an arson and get it in trouble. We don't condone burning, unauthorized burning on Phin-Addict Fury. Okay,
yes, put it in a barbecue grill or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Do something kosher with it. You know,
something where it contains the fire.
But you know what? G did sing "We Didn't Start the Fire" in one of his rants. So maybe now he didn't start the fire, but other fans are starting the fire and burn into his jersey. So, I mean, we have patterns on this show. We know what the pulse of the fan base is. We just don't always approve of it, you know. So, Lucci, you've been waiting patiently, man. What's your thoughts? I mean, I know you were kind of like, you saw something from Huntley the second to last game. You thought there was a chance. And then, this week, you were watching both. I know what happened with KC. That's tough. But what's your overall thoughts on everything?
Man, the whole thing from Cleveland, like I said, that was the most complete game I saw from really the whole team this season. The run game looked good. The quarterback play was good. He was running to get, first downs. But the thing that stood out to me that game the most was the Clyde Campbell. Prior to that game, he asked Greg was MIA during the team meeting, and we tried to call out to him. Larry tried to reach out to him umpteen times, and he was just AFK. But yeah,
We tried to get G his hat.
oh, there you go. So yeah, but the thing that I noticed about Campbell was he met with the brass of the Dolphins prior to the Cleveland game. And he was like, listen, if we don't win, would you let me go so I can have a chance to play with another team to compete, Minnesota, Detroit, or whoever? And everybody was like, yeah, we got you. Everybody came to an agreement. Bro, this guy was out there after knowing that and probably knowing he's been in the league 17 years. Even if we win today, we're not going to win that, and we need so much help, and there's so much going on. Man, that guy was out there playing that game in Cleveland like he played every other game this season.
He's an awesome dude.
When he really is. And that's the type of character we lack that we don't have in Miami. And I don't know if I was talking about it on here or if I was just talking to my cousin about it when I was down there, but just the fight. We don't have guys. I did talk about it on here with Jason Taylor. Remember we showed the thing when it was the Dallas banner and he snatched it off and threw it on the ground. Jason Taylor, you know how many losing seasons he played here, but there was still that dog in him, and it's a gang. It's a Miami Dolphin, and we get on the field and we're banging against a different set. And it was like really players bought into that. People follow behind him, our defenses anyways, and like when we lack that character so much. This guy sacrificed his whole, because if he doesn't decide to come back, and if he does, I hope he doesn't come to Miami.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's
yeah. Go ahead and get you a ring,
bro.
Yeah, go ahead and get you a ring. You already sacrificed for Jacksonville. Florida's ruined your life, my guy. Go ahead somewhere and get you some. And I wish that he would have had a chance to go play somewhere else. But yeah, the Tua thing. It's no military secret how I've felt about him, man. And it's like, man, it's what we're having with Jimmy Butler right now. These prima donnas with they color their hair, they're worried about what he always got his frosted braided tips, making sure they're hanging out of his thing with the shades, this cornballs and the big snug. You're not even playing the game.
Yeah, bro.
You're not playing the game. Those big jackets are for guys that come off the freezing cold and to warm up. You're supposed to be out there and stand your soft ass up, man, and act like you have he's lamping on the bench with his big cushy thing and his corny ass sunglasses. Bro, I can't stand that guy. And then now I can't stand people even more that support him because it's so, man, it's so. I can't even say what I want, man.
It's like even when I saw that,
I hate it. I hate it so much how soft and pathetic that guy is, man, and that we paid him that money. We should have waited the 5th year, and man, I just can't stand it so much. And now I'll have no mercy moving forward on anybody that comes on here to support Tua. You're getting all gas, no brakes. And I don't care. I'll eat crow, concrete crow. If he does good and we do whatever, then I'll say whatever, I'm wrong. But man, this guy it spoke volumes. Like he had no and then the Chiefs, like you saw, Larry. I've turned games off. I've admitted on the show this week. I went to bed on the Dolphins.
I know, bro.
Like I haven't, like you said, it's like background noise when you watch it.
Yes.
But and as much as I hated all season, this last game, my true colors came out, and I had split screen on my TV with the Chiefs on one game and the Dolphins on the other game.
And I know you did because you texted me. You were
I'm like, man, I was like, I might talk, but I'm all in. I'm all in. Yeah, I have. You know what? Here, let me go ahead. That's to the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Cheers, bro.
But yeah,
cheers. We had.
It just breaks my heart, man. That I think Kerry said earlier in the chat, we don't have any dogs.
We don't.
And me personally, I'll say this too, real quick. I'm not mad at Tyreek. I've had my moments, in my life where I just, sometimes I say what's on my mind. I'm frustrated. And I had them with you, Larry, and it's just like, sometimes you get frustrated with things and you say things maybe you mean, but you don't mean to say it that way.
Yeah.
Bro, the guy's he's a competitor. He's used to winning. Not in his college days, obviously, his collegiate days, he wasn't. He didn't come from no standout college, right? If I'm not mistaken,
I don't think
he wasn't like a powerhouse SEC
No,
guy,
I don't think he was, bro. No.
right? So, but he went to Kansas City. They have a different culture there. He was used to that. He lucked out going there, and he competed every year. He came to Miami. That guy was caping for Tua big time.
That he was, but too much, in my opinion.
Okay, so but listen, this is my opinion. Now he sees what it is with Tua, and he knows and what it is with McDaniel, and he knows he's on a crash course for just mediocrity, and he let it slip. And to be honest, I can't blame him.
Mm-hmm.
His emotions got to him, and he said, he said how he's like, man. He knows, bro, we're not going anywhere with the current regime. The same way that you know it, the same way that anybody else who's been saying this ain't, and we're running it back. Greg knows it. He said it. Shake, I mean, we all said. And Tyreek is out, and people can say, well, he makes millions, but so what? I mean, do you think he just wants to lose and take it? If he was that guy that everybody thinks, oh, you already got your bag, as they say, which pisses me off. Oh, you got a good paycheck. But guess what? If he was a guy that was just happy to get the paycheck, he'd have been smiling and shucking and jiving in that interview. Hey, guess what, guys? Next year, we'll get him next year. Nah, his true competitor side come out, and he's pissed off. That's
how I feel. Do you think, though, that it was because the team lost or because he wasn't getting the ball, or both?
Man, I think, listen, he said it hurts or something to this effect. I'm paraphrasing. When you don't have your franchise quarterback out there, it hurts. Now, you can go look at the interview. You can see something along, but basically saying when you don't have the guy that's supposed to be out there getting you the ball, ain't out there getting you the ball, he has incentives that he could be reaching that he isn't reaching, that he didn't reach. The earlier in the season, they didn't have a playbook. It's out there that initially, and I said this before it came out, there was no playbook when the backups were in earlier in the season.
Yeah.
They were trying to force it. But then they said this game that Huntley took over in Cleveland, that Mike McDaniel took some time to draw up some plays specifically designed for his, play set. And it showed. Yeah. I mean, did it not? And maybe after having that much time, the Jets looked at that and then they clamped on that, and that's why it didn't work. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. It was a weak difference. Who knows? Yeah, but it worked then. I mean, and so I feel like he's just frustrated, like, knowing, damn, this guy he wasn't out there. Missed them 5 games. Tyreek was non-existent during those to his absence. Everybody was.
Yeah.
And then just come out, bro. He said, you don't think he wants to compete and get the ball and try to make a change? It sickens me that everybody switched up on him. Not you, Larry, but a lot of fans I see on thing, everybody's clowning him and they switched up on him. It's like, come on, bro. Man, I seen the guy make clowning Tyreek like, oh, you're a competitor, and then showed like his drop passes this season. It was like a video. Okay, make a video of all his good plays since he's been with us. It'll be 10 minutes long. I'm sorry. I think that he sees where we're at with Tua. He knows Tua ain't that guy no more. This cornball sitting on the sideline snuggled up, and I just think that he kept it to the point where he didn't call out Tua like he wanted to. I'm sorry.
I get it, and I think the fans, bro, like to your point, it's like, yo, I've had some issues with some of the things Tyreek. I'm not a Tyreek hater or anything, but some people didn't. Like, he's their best friend but then as soon as he says something negative about the team, even if he's right, they want to get on him. It's like, bro, your allegiance to this team is too corny. Like, open your eyes. Just like you said you want Calais and I want him to go out and have success. Like, these people don't, bro. Like, they would rather him end his career terribly with Miami than see him go anywhere and have success, because these dudes are way too loyal to a franchise that doesn't do anything for them, and they can't get out of that corny fandom. That is annoying. Is annoying. Mm-hmm. And then Carrie D looks like she agrees with you. So
yeah, Tyreek, that's what I'm saying, Carrie. He's out there, man. He played. You can see when we're losing, he's mad, bro. He's mad. And Jalen Ramsey too. Maybe he's saying we all know he's an emotional guy. He's not going to bite his tongue too much. I don't. I just feel like, to be honest, man, maybe some of the dogs we have aren't out there. They realize the people that carry the torch for the team aren't dogs, and so they kind of feel out of place. Like it's all kind of super friendly and I just don't. I don't know.
Bro, I get it.
Yeah,
And now he's coming back
a
and
big
he's
mess.
it over, but I bet he's still gonna be unhappy if they go in and they keep with this mediocrity.
But we need to bring Aaron Rodgers. Go ahead and bring Aaron Rodgers and let him sit over there and make everybody uncomfortable.
He would make
that way. Tua gets hurt, we throw in Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has been in the league long enough; he could carry the team. Maybe bring some mushrooms. I don't know. But
he's crazy.
We're screwed now.
This year to make his decision.
Yeah,
we're not screwed entirely. There's a quarterback named Jackson Dart. Everyone's talking about in this fan base. He could be a late round option. I'm all in for it.
Yeah,
even though I don't think we should draft the quarterback. There's no really quarterback outside of the top 2 that we can't get. But it's the end.
I'm wondering, like, do they try to save their ass and go out and get a quarterback or 2 under the bus, or all 3 of these dudes joined at the hip and that's it? They're just gonna run with this.
They're gonna run with it.
Who's a good quarterback? Yeah.
All right, here's the thing. I don't think that Tyreek Hill is frustrated with Tua. I that's the only thing. Look, I'm not a Tua stan, but at the same time, at the end of the day, I think, in my opinion, I believe we could win with Tua. You don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with me. That's how I feel.
Win a championship or just win some games?
Championship. What do you need, Shake, to do that? With what Tua's getting paid, how are you going to build a team good enough to win?
I mean, a coach that could build a good scheme. That's what you need. And secondly, it's not only Tua that fell short during big games. Tyreek Hill fell short in big games. Doesn't matter who the quarterback was. So everybody was falling short. People were missing tackles and things of that nature. So it just wasn't one person messing up the whole game. You know what I'm saying? It was everybody.
I agree with that. I just still don't know if Tua's that can win a championship.
I mean,
how many games? How many games?
Dropped the ball too, bro. Literally, he did.
Yeah, but how many games? How many games do you think we need with Tua to be able to be healthy with?
Okay, and I think that's where that's what the issue was. Tyreek Hill was in Kansas City, and in those 3 years, Patrick Mahomes missed few games, and Andy Reid, whatever quarterback he put in there, didn't miss a beat. And he's like, damn, why can't we do that? Why can't, when I put in our backup, why can't we have a scheme that is comparable to our backup instead of trying to use this one size fits all?
Jake, just for curiosity,
because the Tua is a one size fits all kind of quarterback. That's
Jake,
why.
Who were the backups? I just think it's funny.
Chad Henne.
And who?
Chad Henne.
Matt Moore.
And Matt Moore.
So
at the end of the day, like, those are dudes we couldn't do anything with. I know it was a different coaching staff, but it just shows that you have a point with the regime and the coaching, bro. Because these are dudes that we thought. I mean, Matt Moore we liked, but Chad Henne, bro, like, these dudes filled in.
And Chad Henne had some moments too, though.
He had some
moments. And he had that one Monday Night Football game against the Jets.
That was a good
game.
Game.
There was like 6 lead changes and he was bombing it to Ted Ginn Jr. in the end zone. And I mean, he wasn't a total bum. He's a backup, caliber.
Well, I'm just saying he did. I think there was more like in critical moments and whatnot with that team than with us because of our issues. But back to your debate, I'll just chime in with that. I thought it was interesting.
Chad Henne had Tua talking about lower moments in his career. I'm sorry.
Part of the problem.
Because the Jets weren't bottom feeders at that time. And Chad Henne had a back and forth and won the game on a buzzer beater like Tua did against Buffalo at that part of the season. And it was on Monday Night Football. Yeah. Chad Henne went out under the bright lights and did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I
remember he hit Ted Ginn Jr. twice.
Yeah, thank you. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Shake. I mean, huge moments under the bright lights. Chad Henne could win. I haven't seen Tua perform under the big lights yet. When?
No, bro, it's my opinion. I don't think Tua.
And we're in year 5.
Everybody's. I mean, we're not here. This isn't an echo chamber.
I'm just confused about what makes people feel like, or you, Shake, that what you have seen as far as health and playing under pressure that makes you feel like we can win a championship with him? Because if you do, tell me so I can feel like, okay, you're right, and I'll go with that. But from what I've seen, and even when he's not playing, the attitude he has, the when we're losing and the laughing on the sideline, I just, his personality, his character, his play against under pressure, all that matches.
Shake, I would ask you, what about his play in the 5 years we've had him, like in critical moments against winning teams? He was with Flo and he was with McDaniel. What does it take? Now
I think he played
what does it
under
take?
more pressure. I think he played better under Flo in pressure games than he did McDaniel, because McDaniel. See, the thing about it was, I think when he was playing with Flores, he was playing with more anger because I think he was trying to prove Brian Flores wrong, because every time he threw an interception, the next drive was a touchdown. Remember, they went he went 7. They won 7 straight games with Brian Flores when they won at 7. So
but his pressure game was against Tennessee.
Every game was a freaking
and
pressure.
He folded like a cheap suitcase, like he normally does.
Yeah. He folded against
Flo
Raiders too, bro.
Folded big time. The only one that stood up that time was Duke Johnson, and then we get rid of him the next year.
Yeah, and they stopped running the ball with Duke Johnson.
It killed me, Shake. I
had to pull him when the playoffs were on the line. Flo had to put Fitz in just to make that throw.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was his rookie season.
And I'll co-sign you on that, Shake. That rookie season, Flo was. I'm with you. But that Tennessee game was a. This is it. Do or die, in and out. Either you're all in or you're out. Disappeared.
I think the biggest mistake they made was being that Mike McDaniel was a rookie head coach, and he wanted to call the plays. They should have gave up the play calling to somebody else until you could master being a head coach. Then worry about the play calling. If you wanted to be a play caller, you should have just went somewhere else as an offensive coordinator.
But these kids can't even master challenges.
I just want to say, like, here's the problem, though.
That's why he needed to be. That's why he needed to give the play calling to somebody else, so he could time management and oversee those tiny details himself.
This is the flaw with the Miami Dolphins, in my opinion. They got rid of Flo, who wanted to get McDaniel, who was blocked by the 49ers, because it was all about Tua's camp versus whoever. Tua didn't want to work with Flo anymore. So now they needed a head coach, but the head coach had to be dedicated and tied at the hip with Tua. So they got to have a head coach in Mike McDaniel who not only designs an offense for him, but calls his plays so they could be joined like this. That was the Dolphins' fault from an organizational standpoint, in my opinion. I agree with you, Shake. You're saying it's their fault, but I wouldn't even put that on McDaniel like he needed to call plays. I think it was like, I'll call the plays, and since you have a head coaching vacancy because you got rid of the other guy and it's the only way out, and I'll co-sign whatever you want me to about Tua, I'm going to come and be the head coach, coddle him, coddle the team, and call all his plays. And I agree with you. I agree with you. That was a blunder, but I think that's the only thing they could have done, because I don't think this dude's a head coach without the playbook. Like, I think the playbook is the only reason he got a head coaching job, and otherwise he's not a head coach. He's an offensive coordinator, but they couldn't get him because San Fran was blocking it and they didn't have a head coach. So I'm only raising my voice because I'm passionate, not because I'm coming at you, but I'm just
no. I don't take it at all.
That's part of the problem, like that's the issue. He's not a head coach. I think he's an OC, but he's not a great OC. So, bro, I don't know. I don't.
So, who do you think there's anybody that could get a better season out of Tua than Mike McDaniel got last season?
Good point, bro. I don't think so. I think you're right on that. But I think his limits, which we see now, he's not going to get a better one than that. It's over.
Listen, at the end of the day, look, we're on a journey, right? And all I have is an 84 Honda Civic, right? I'm like, I got to go across the state from I have about this. I can't. I'm like, yeah, I could go, man. I'll go faster with a Ferrari, or I could go more in style with a Lexus. But guess what? I don't have a Lexus and I don't have a Ferrari. All I have is this 84 Honda, and I have to make do with what I have. And them giving, look, if the Tua leaves, it is what it is. If Tua stays, it is what it is. But
No,
Once
I'm
they
with
gave
you.
him the money, this is what we have, and this is
We're
that's it.
screwed.
But
screwed.
but would you put a brand new engine in that Civic when you could just buy an upgraded car? I mean, they just gave him so much money. They put themselves in that position.
Yeah, no. But
That's what makes me not like Greer. All the other stuff I can forgive. Paying Tua that money when you had the option to wait to see what happens this season is what makes me say we need to get rid of Greer.
It wasn't even Greer.
Everything else I can forgive he did because he's made some good pickups and he's drafted some okay guys. I could forgive him. That's what makes me
it
say.
wasn't even. But here's the thing, Lucci. It wasn't even Greer. There was reports that Mike McDaniel went over Greer's head, saying that, "Hey,
I can see that, bro."
But I never like, and if that's the true Shake, I could go for that, and I'll tell you, I never liked McDaniel. It's all on record. You could go back. Anybody who's new in the chat, you could go back and watch. I've been clowning McDaniel and really criticizing him, and everybody said, "Damn, and nothing makes you happy, man." But I saw the signs of McDaniel being a bozo when we were dropping 70 on Denver, and I'll reiterate that every time. It's like, man, I never liked him really, to be honest. He's a cornball.
Yeah,
He can't speak. He can't speak good, and everybody's not a good speaker. But you're supposed to be this genius and all this. If you can't speak good, how are you going to be a leader of men? How are you going to get people to rally behind you when you stutter like a prick with everything that you're saying? Come on, man.
I agree with
Laughing and joking and always got some stupid, corny jokes. Everything ain't funny over here. We're trying, we've been miserable for 25, 30 years. You got to be serious sometimes. And this guy always wanted to. Now you see all this. The laughing's gone, though. You see he's not making jokes like that anymore these days. It's starting to settle in on him now. But,
yeah. I don't know if
I don't know how we expect to get dogs. Dogs ain't going to follow a Mike McDaniel, bro. This guy's a Cocker Spaniel. You know what I mean? How are you going to get a bunch of Rottweilers to follow a Cocker Spaniel? It doesn't happen.
Hey, man, I got Cocker Spaniels. Quit making fun of my dogs now. I'm actually do my Cocker Spaniels, but
I'm just trying to think of a poodle. I guess we could say poodle too.
I was talking about I don't know if anyone's seen the press conference. I seen little bits of Pete's fit, but apparently Chris Greer was asked about the injury-prone players he signs in the off season, and Chris Greer says, "Well, it's like a lottery, kind of. He's gambling that they." And it's like, why are we taking that chance? Look at TD Finstock. I know you guys. We all like TD here. He always has like 20 ifs on the team. If Teron Armstead can say, "Oh,
yes, that's the problem. It's not like winning the lottery, bro. The lottery is 50-50. He's going 70-30 to injury-prone dudes.
Exactly.
That's like going into a blackjack game and going down when you have 17, bro, and getting hit. That's what that's like. That's silly. Silly.
Yeah, look at that. Still waiting for that good karma.
I hate that.
Thank you, bro. Come on, man.
I hated that decision.
I was like, damn.
I hated that.
Yeah, and it was so contradicting when he said it because there was plays that the Mike White to Robbie, what's his name?
Chosen, bro.
Robbie Chosen. Like, okay, you call that play.
Yes.
If that play is going to be a touchdown, if it lands, if it doesn't, it ain't. But when you draw it up, this is to go deep for a touchdown. And you ran that play. So at that point in the game, there was no need to call that play if that was your true intention.
Sorry.
And I'm a Denver fan next week, by the way.
Just like, look at Houston. We thought we fleeced them.
Yep.
That's corny, man. That's why I'm frustrated. And it's one thing to like rep your team and all that. I mean, but it's another thing to be like giddy the next day when they say, "Oh, this is gonna happen. This guy said that." Bro, like you should be mad right now. You should be at least a little annoyed. I'm not mad like, "Oh, I'm ruining my day," but I'm just critical of the nonsense. Like these are the same people that when me and Lucci were talking like 3-4 weeks ago before they had the complete game in Cleveland, and these people are like, "Well, if you do this and they fail this and this team wins," like, bro, relax. Like watch it and hope they do. Just like before Green Bay, I wasn't getting hyped unless they beat Green Bay because I'm not wasting my energy. But people waste their energy, man. They spin their wheels way too much. Look at these teams. You were so hyped about that. And now look they're in the playoffs and we're not. Now that'll change again next year, maybe. But it's just like have a little more guts and passion in this fan base. Some people are just too content with nonsense, bro.
And people forget too, Greg. I put this in your chat. You can't really compare the backups with Kansas City to what happened to us because Kansas City was a mosquito's pecker away from losing to Denver with all their starters the first time they played in Kansas City. This game was in Denver with everything on the line and all second string and third strings. Like that showed up, they still got the headache from being up in the mountains because their plane didn't leave when it was supposed to. It was all the way messed up, man. They got mudded because they had there's no way you're going to go in there and even fight with a Denver team that almost beat all of your starters at your house when everything's on the line. Man, them guys were ready to play, But it looked like what would have happened when we had our second string quarterback early in the season. If we'd have played a good team, we really lucked out not playing any good teams when Tua was gone. Who did we play that was really a powerhouse?
Yeah,
when Tua missed them games.
Nobody.
Still lost almost
Nobody.
We played the Titans, who have the number 1 pick. We played the Colts, who barely made the playoffs.
Lost to the
Giants.
Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs. The Colts ain't in the playoffs.
Barely. Well, you know what I meant. Didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, but I'm with you.
Trying to tank and they lost. That's
trash. You're right, Greg. Trash. Go ahead. Who else, Greg?
Patriots, Colts, Seahawks, and Titans. Those were the 4 teams.
Okay, the Seahawks. I'll give them, and they ended up not being. They aren't who we thought they were.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the season, because I thought the Seahawks were going to be good. They looked like they were coming out swinging.
Me too.
But, they came out like Lennox Lewis, or Shannon. What's his name against Lennox Lewis? Shannon Briggs against Lennox Lewis. He came out swinging. He almost knocked Lewis out, but once he ran out of gas, he got smoked. That's how Seattle. But we played a bunch of nobodies. And
like all those games.
And we
couldn't even win one.
We won one, I think.
New England, maybe. We beat New England.
All 4 of those games are winnable. McGee just can't coach a backup.
Yeah. I don't even put it just on the quarterback like Shake was saying. He just can't go that's the narrative too, is that he can't coach a backup because that feeds into the narrative that Tua has to play for us to win, which I also hate. He just can't coach that well, period, without his original tactics from last year. And he just didn't win a lot of games with Tua, and without him, he just didn't win games.
But here we got Huntley playing in the game of his life, because there's a chance we can make the playoffs. And what's Tua doing? Is Tua on the sidelines with the clipboard the whole time?
No, bro, not at all, bro.
No, he's not.
No,
he's
not
back
at all.
like this.
No.
He's back like this on the thing with his shades on.
Yeah,
make sure his frosted tips of his little mini braids are hanging out of his skull cap. Super, man.
It's corny.
Bro, I'm telling you, man.
He's not on the clipboard. You're right. You always see those dudes with clipboards.
Come on, man. Everybody wants to be out there at least acting like, show like you come on. If I'm watching my son play a sport when he was a kid, and I know he's trash at the damn sport, but he just wants to play with his friends, and I go to the game, I'm not going to sit there and act like I know this means nothing is trash. I'm going to be out there acting like a fanatic.
Yeah.
Like if you really support the cause, is the moral of the story, you're going to act like you support the cause.
Yes.
Not sitting back with the shades killed me. And like you said, Larry, if it's because the bright lights hurt is whatever, then why are you even playing football anymore? Because you're gonna have to be staring in them lights to make throws.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Come on, bro. Those. I'm not saying I knock it because I like name brands too. Sometimes rock and style, whatever. But bro, he had a big Fendi thing on national TV at the game in the dark, bro. In the dark. What are you doing?
The other game he didn't play when he had the super big chain on.
Corny, bro.
Super cool. No class, man. I'm sorry.
Corny.
Any of them guys, and to me, any of them guys, bro, you're not Deion Sanders in the 80s, late 80s on the sideline just being neon Deion. Bro, if you wear these big, stupid chains on the sideline, when you're that guy,
Yes.
And even if you're a fifth stringer doing it, you're throwing your money down the drain because you ain't going to be in the league long enough to really make money. You're wasting on jewelry.
Yes.
You look like a bozo, man.
Yes. And if you're going to wear those glasses, bro, wear them out to South Beach in the afternoon in a sunny day,
man.
not on the
Play
side
the game.
at a game again in the freezing cold weather. Like, it's just corny, bro. That's corny. That is corny. Like,
there's no class. It's no class. That's for me personally. You got no class and you got no backbone. You know, you're over there on the thing all shivered up. We know you can't play in the cold already. You're just showing everybody on a worldwide stage. You're over there shivering and bundled up in the jacket that the players wear, that the players wear when they come off the field. You got one of them on when you're not even playing.
Yeah, that's what that is. And by the
He
way,
could have had the white jacket like you got over. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Or just a fly throwback Dolphins jacket and been standing up the whole time. He should have never sat down. I mean, minus a little couple of minutes intervals. He should have been on his feet.
You're right about that too.
Come on, man.
And let's talk about the fact that this was a hip injury, which I'm not knocking him for getting injured, but clearly there's issues there. Like, clearly there's injury issues that go beyond just the concussion. So it's not his fault, but at the end of the day, man, there's issues here with this QB. And had you waited and exercised the fifth year, you would have known that, you know. And I just think that's poor management. I just think that's terrible. Looking at the fan base and the jerseys that are now some of them getting burned, and looking at the hype instead of looking at what's best for the team. And I understand being a more fair dealing team because some teams are scumbags, but this goes beyond that. This is irresponsible, in my personal opinion, based on what you saw. Now, if the dude had won 2 playoff games, you want to take a gamble on the injuries, fine. But he hadn't. So I don't understand. I really am not going to get over that. And now they're joined at the hip, so let them succeed or fail. I personally think it's going to fail. But I just think it's interesting, and I also think
it's not interesting. It's tragic.
Yeah,
is what it is, Larry.
Yeah,
ain't nothing interesting about it.
That's why I hate watching sports. If I know logically that we really don't have a shot, which is why I lost interest in this team early on in the season because I was already not confident going in after what happened last year with the crumbling, and then to see the way it collapsed, and then Tua get another concussion, I really wasn't. So now going into next year, like Shake's meme is like, oh, with the announcement that they're coming back, we're eliminated. Like, yeah, we're not. Now, obviously, I'm hoping that they start off hot and I can have something to root for, but it's hard when I rationally know it's unlikely. It's just not fun being a sports fan in those situations. It just gets tiring. You know?
Well, I mean that's what it boils down to. We're screwed. This is who we got. I hope Shake. I'm with my guy Shakes. Hopefully, you know, we can make it with him.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I mean, hopefully we bring in somebody. This is what I really hope. Bring in somebody who can get the job done. And the Jets, to lose to the Jets, bro. They are in total disarray. Everybody, they got guys. You think Tyreek Hill's bad? They got guys telling people you don't want to come to the Jets. Like going Hollywood like that.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner told somebody on the social media platform, this ain't what you want, my guy. Don't.
Yeah, you know what I could see happening?
What?
I could see our defensive coordinator getting a head coaching job, right? Them bring Robert Saleh because McDaniel isn't gonna give up the play calling, so Robert Saleh will be the head assistant defensive coach. When you're on offense, I'll do the time management and all the challenges, and when offense is on, Robert Saleh does all the time managing shit. So I could see Robert Saleh being the defense coordinator.
You think Weaver's getting the job, a head coaching job?
Who's that?
I hope not, man. I hope you're wrong, Shake, only because how many effing years in a row are we going to have our defense have to learn a new scheme under a new head coach? When can they ever get some continuity under the same? Because our defense this year, I mean, I know it looks good on paper and all that, but, it really wasn't. I mean, the third downs, bro, we give up first downs a lot.
Yeah,
our shit really wasn't pimp tight like people think, and the takeaways really weren't there like that. However, I'm not saying we were bad defense. Another year under him, and getting back some different guys, maybe adding some guys, I think will be fantastic under him. But another year getting somebody else. How many years in a row is that? With a damn new defensive coordinator, bro. How can you ever expect results like that?
Mm-hmm.
I
And
mean,
they expect a guy like Ramsey, who's already a little unhinged, to just keep going along with a new defensive coordinator every year and having to march to a different beat every year. It's like, God dang, man, can we get some consistency, you know?
who was looking at Weaver? Wasn't
Like a
somebody
dysfunctional family with the Dolphins.
The Bears are looking at Weaver. I think I heard the Saints. And then I don't know if I heard someone else. The Raiders, I know, fired their coach, so he might get someone there. If we lose Weaver, I will genuinely have no hope, because then we're gonna have to learn a new defense. We're gonna have to go out, get another defense coordinator for the fourth straight year, I think.
Robert Saleh runs a 4-3, so we're gonna go from 3-4 to 4-3.
Oh my!
There it is. The whole scheme changed, bro.
I don't hate the idea, Saleh. It's just we gotta learn a new defense scheme again, and I can't have hope. We can't have 4 years of changing the D coordinator. We need some consistency.
God dang, man.
No, you're right.
And then there's guys like Holland who had an off year, who maybe after this year having it, then maybe he will. I mean, who was his best year under? Who was his rookie season under? I don't even remember now. Huh?
It was Flores his rookie year.
Was it Flores his rookie year? Well, everybody flourished under Flores as far as defense is concerned. I mean, I'll say it till I die. Everybody knows I ain't a Flores after what happened. I'm with Kosa on him. But when it comes to defense, I mean, he's one of the best in the league. Defensive coordinator, you ain't going to get a better defensive coordinator than him.
He's going to
get me personally. He's top flight. You know, I don't care what anybody says.
There's a lot of Jets fans want him. There's a lot of fans of other teams that want him because the defense is good. He's a hard-nosed dude. Now, I know what he old controversy after the fact, but on X's and O's, I mean,
that guy's where it's at.
Yeah,
I don't care. He's a rat. He's whatever else, and I'll co-sign a lot of that. But when it comes to coaching defense, you ain't getting much better than Brian Flores.
Yeah, listen, if you want Brian Flores' coaching career to end, you let him. You want him to go to the Jets.
That's a truth.
I'd rather him end than go to the Jets, Shakes. To be honest,
if he goes to the Jets, that's it. His coaching career is over.
It's true. True.
Yeah. Well, as far as the head coach, yeah,
it's the kiss of death.
But you give him the defensive coordinator position in the Jets, and you're spelling trouble against Tua. Then you don't think this guy's gonna go in there? Oh, forget about it. And they just beat on us. Well, Tua wasn't in this time. But they damn near beat us with Tua in last time.
I think Flores would come up with something. I hope. I'm already worried about, the Pats are going to get Vrabel, and I like Vrabel, man. I know the Pats just kind of made a mockery of the Rooney Rule, but I ain't going to get into that. I'll say that for another video, but they're going to hire Vrabel.
Who's hiring Vrabel? The Patriots?
Pats.
Yeah.
I think it's like a no-brainer. Otherwise, why even fire Mayo after 1 year? Because Vrabel was available and he wanted to go. That's what I think.
And who got rid of their Tennessee got rid of their GM?
Did they really?
My guy Cam Ward's, yeah, they did. Cam Ward's going to, which breaks my heart, man. How cool would it have been to have him in Miami?
Yeah.
Hey, Tennessee fired the GM.
The funny thing is they're saying that Deion Sanders could go to the Raiders.
Oh, I just saw it. That was 56 minutes ago. The Titans fired their GM.
Yeah.
I just saw that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Deion and what happens with Shador and all that. I mean, it's going to be interesting.
I think Deion's staying. It's everyone creating this bull junkie out of the media, get people talking.
Yeah, true.
As many times he's.
Oh, I heard my cousin ask me, Greg. My cousin asked me, "Is it true Deion Sanders is going to be the new GM for the Dolphins?" I was like, "Are you kidding?"
Bro, what?
I would have heard that already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think. College. I think what he does at Colorado, it wouldn't work in the NFL. I don't think.
Shit, you'd be surprised.
He could. I could see him coaching, but I just don't. I don't know that right now. Like I could see it happening. I just don't know if right now it's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with his son, where he's going to go. If that plays into it, like I'll watch. Like I'm curious about it, and I don't think it would or wouldn't work. Like I give him props. I'm rooting for him with what he's doing, man. But we'll see. We'll see. But yo, we didn't get any callers, so we're just gonna call it a night at this point, man. We'll be back at it. We'll be back at it. You got Thursday, last call, man. Shake, if you want to tell the people about that. Me and Shake have something members only. If you guys hit join down here, become an official Fury Fam member. Cosmo just did become an official member. We got a behind the scenes show where I'm going to cross-examine the press conferences. We're going to be doing that all off season. Shake's got content. I'm going to do a season wrap up for you guys. And by the way, go to the Twitter. I got a new Twitter where it's just for Phin-Addict Fury. It's a Twitter dedicated to Dolphins talk. Phin-Addict Fury Twitter. I linked it to this page, so go down and click and follow the new Twitter. I'll broadcast going forward, but follow the new Twitter.
If anybody was ever too hip-hop, it would be Deion Sanders. Sorry. That was a good comment. Because, you know, that's why we think of Mike Tomlin. Allegedly, that's why.
For Deion.
It breaks my heart, but yeah.
Silly stuff. Silly stuff. There you go, Jamie. Yeah, silly stuff. But anyway, man, make sure you follow that Twitter. Make sure you subscribe on your way out. Make sure you join the Fury Fam. Tune in for last call on Thursday. Tune into, if you're a member, you're going to have a show with me and Shake doing a cross-examination, and we'll be back in the off-season doing different stuff. Obviously, you got in the blender, but final thoughts from you guys. And by the way, this is probably, we might do another show when the playoffs and talk about it, but this might be the last scheduled show for Larry, Lucci, G, and Shake for this season, although we are definitely back next year. I got to revamp some stuff, revamp the intro, all that, revamp the graphic to change the name. But assuming this is the last one too, has been a great, even though it's been a rough season, I love coming talking to you guys every Tuesday, and our rhythm and our groove that we're in is dope. The people love it. We love it. The channel's grown. You guys are my guys, and it's always great chopping it up with you about the Dolphins, and we'll keep working together in the offseason. But weekly
Larry,
thing is fun, man. Final thoughts from you guys.
Low key, Larry, hip hop is the new age word for uppity.
Of course, bro. Yeah. Ridiculous. This organization, bro. But then they got the guy snorting the coke off the thing, talking to like a stripper. But okay, because that's Adam Gase. See, he's not hip hop. His eyes are just popping out of his head. Okay, ridiculous.
Yep, he's iPop.
He's
guys.
Hip hop. He's iPop. That's a good one.
Wow.
So
man, goodbye to everybody, man. I hope you guys have a great
happy hour this Thursday. Yeah. We'll talk about the our. We'll do a season long, good, bad, the ugly for this season. So,
yeah. Do a season wrap up.
I like
pretty much.
Yeah. Maybe I'll bring something besides tequila this time.
Raphael Courtwright, what's going on, Raphael?
Raph came late.
Raph, rewind it. You're my dude, though.
All right, everybody, have a good night.
Later, brother.
I'll be in touch. Greg, good to see you.
Later, guys.
We'll be in touch
soon, man. And merch and stuff's coming from the channel, so keep it locked, man.
Peace.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.